Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna, and today I am here with Lisa Marie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad you could be here.
Thank you for having me.
We love to start off with the most difficult question ever. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Who is Lisa Marie?
I am a singer-songwriter based between Chicago and Nashville, and I'm a hardworking mom of three. I'm constantly in 5 million different directions, chasing my kids, chasing career, chasing school, and of course, music. So
That's perfect. I love that introduction. It fits with crazy. The 500 different directions is definitely crazy.
Totally.
But that is so true. And as women, I think we're so versatile into that too, that we just go everywhere and can handle everything. And
yeah, I never thought this was going to be my life, but I always get told, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it in a day. I don't know how you do it this. And I just do it. Who else is going to do it? So it works.
Resilience.
Yes.
Yes. Well, so who are some of the women that have inspired you musically?
Musically, I have always looked up to Shania Twain, of course, who hasn't? Men and women, I think I can agree on that. My roots and like where I used to, sing as early as I can remember being a little girl. I loved Whitney Houston. Huge fan of Mariah Carey, of course, Alicia Keys. But in recent years, I've really taken a huge gravitational turn towards Jessie James Decker. I'm obsessed with her. I think with her being a mom and an entrepreneur and obviously a wife, she is just like handling it. I am really inspired by her.
She is great like that. That's one that I haven't heard recently. Someone mentioned, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she is just awesome.
That do it all mentality, I think.
Totally. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So let's talk about your newest single, Cowgirl. Tell us about that. How did the idea come about?
The idea was just, I didn't want to write about a boy. I didn't want to write about a heartbreak. I didn't want to give it any more than just being a woman. I feel as a single mom and just a mom in general that sometimes we get shamed for like wanting to go out and have a good time. There's so much a woman handles in like a normal work week or a normal week, Monday through Friday, even on the weekends, because our job never ends. Whatever. Cowgirl to me is like whatever you have to do to just go out and just let go for a night or maybe an hour, maybe a ride to Target and you just have no kids with you, whatever it is. I just wanted it to be an anthem for women, for men, for whoever, it sings to really just go out and do your thing, that you shouldn't be shamed. So that's more or less, I guess, an anthem for that is what my motivation to writing it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt when I was like, oh, let's just go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
Thank you. And it was a blast having my kids on as well. My daughter introduces me every time that I normally open up for a show. She is my mini me. She is 7, going on 30. But she'll always be like, y'all ready for my mama? So they put her in the beginning. I kind of like looked at my producer. I was like, can we put this in the beginning? And he goes, let me just airdrop it to me. And so then he played it and I'm like, yes, this has got to go out the way that it is. So my daughter just has been like, she's always like, do you know my mama? Do you know this? Do you know this? My mama's a country singer. And she like jokes about, I shouldn't say jokes. She truly thinks I'm like the queen of country, which I'm not, at least not yet. So it's just funny to see how much she has grown to look up to me and how much she tells me lately that she wants to be a singer, just like you. So I I feel like at 33, almost 34, starting over, having to be forced to kind of start over and kind of reinvent myself. I am beyond thankful that like my kids are able to see it and know that like she's living her dream. So
And that's exactly what I was just going to ask you if it's about your daughter on there.
yeah,
Great. I'm
yeah.
so glad. That is such, I can only imagine her introducing you on the show. It's so cute.
She's cute. She actually just got fitted in her first pair of cowgirl boots when we were down in Gatlinburg for spring break, and they fit her. She's been wearing them around the house. I mean, she's not obviously going to wear them to school right now, but she is just like everything I have. She wants. So I couldn't have picked like a more perfect way to introduce the song is with her saying that. So it's good.
It's beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you got to share that out with everyone.
Thank
And
you.
share your daughter as well, because that is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So we hope that when she grows up, we can interview her as well when she's singing.
Yes, definitely. I hope so one day.
Yeah.
She takes my guitar off the wall and she'll go in the room and just start strumming it, which she doesn't have. She doesn't have guitar lessons yet, but she sees me go and take my book and she like to write music. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I just thought of something I have to go write down just because that happens naturally for me sometimes. And so I got her a little notebook that matches mine. So that way she wants to go work on her song. She'll be like, all right, I'm going to go work on my songs now. And I'm like, okay, it's cute. I mean, I just adore her. It's great.
All right. So we're looking forward to her songs being released too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
You may have to help her with the melodies, but
Totally. She actually does pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. She does really good. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm excited. I'm excited for her.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh. So would you like to get into our 20 crazy questions?
I would love that. Kind of scared, kind of
Wonderful.
nervous, but I would do it. Let's just do it.
There are no right or wrong answers, except one that, we could possibly get arrested, but that it's a hypothetical. So, oh, what was the last thing you read?
The last thing I read, goodness gracious, I don't even know. I don't even know. Probably my son's packet because he's got to make a castle model. That was probably the last thing I read because they come home and they're like, it's due tomorrow. And I'm like, what? We haven't even gone over it yet. So that's probably the last thing I like fully read. Yeah.
Perfect. Homework assignment, yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Hypothetically, if I need to hide a dead body, do you know a good place?
I do. I do.
We'll leave it at that. We don't want to tell anyone where it is.
Exactly.
Oh, what's the best concert or the top 2 concerts you've been to?
Top concert. I would have to say when I was, gosh, I don't know what year it was. One of the best ones I ever went to, my mom took me up to like the fairgrounds and she was like, this band's playing. We got to run all the way to get to if we want front row, we got to run to it. So I looked at I think it was like my mom's like best friend's daughter or somebody, it was like a niece or somebody. I looked at her, I'm like, we're doing this, we're running. So of course we both took off. We were front row center for REO Speedwagon. My mom was legit tickling the guitar player's toes while he was singing, and he looked down and was like, ooh. That was probably one of the best because the music, like, it just was rock and roll, and there's nothing that beats that live. Second, I don't even know. There's just so many. I personally love any venue that I have gone to where like whether they were up and coming artists and now they're on their own headlining tours. I love any where it's like the capacity is like 500 to like 2,000, where it's small and it's intimate. That's the best to me.
Absolutely. I love it. I will tell you, one of my favorites was getting to see before Ashley McBryde got big. I got to see her at a small place and she was an opener and I was like, oh, and we actually left during the main event. I'm like, sorry, no offense to you, dude, but I was just
epic, like epic. I am beyond obsessed with her. I wasn't a huge fan of her in the beginning, but like I just kind of like dived into more who she was as a person too, and her songwriting abilities. She is like hands down one of the best in the business. I look up to her a lot.
And some of her earlier stuff that's not released at this point that, was on her personal that she made her own. That was pretty good stuff too.
It's
Hopefully
always
she'll
the
release
best.
that again in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
On something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the first thing you would do if you won the lottery?
First thing I would do, probably not tell anybody about it. I think my boyfriend and I, we joke about if we win the lottery, like what we do. He says he's like, don't take it personal, but I won't talk to you for about 8 hours. I got to figure things out. And I'm like, you're just going to leave me hanging like that? What? But honestly, I probably would try to lay out all of my finances, possibly my family's finances, and see, if someone has a medical bill, someone has, a house payment or whatever, I would try to make sure all that was set. And then probably, I don't know, buy some land somewhere and put a big barn dominium in the middle of nowhere. That's probably one of the first couple things I would do.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad you said barn dominium. I was just looking at those. Those are cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, they're so cool.
Oh, tell us something that's on your bucket list.
Bucket list. One thing I definitely think that would stand out the most is that I've always wanted to backpack through Europe. We used to live in Germany. My middle son actually has dual citizenship to go back and be a German citizen if he really wanted to. So we were over there for a very small span of time, and we got to explore as much as we did. Just given because at the time my husband was in the military, and so we got to explore little times and whatever, but I've always said, even if it was my honeymoon, I would love to just throw minimalistic stuff in a bag on your backpack, whatever, or in a backpack on your back and like hop around all Europe. That's literally like my bucket list. I think that would probably complete all of them if I really could pick one thing. That'd be the one thing.
Oh, that's cool. Love it. What job would you be terrible at?
What job? Probably teaching. Probably teaching. Because I'd be like, all right, well, this is what you do. This is how you do it. Figure it out.
Be free.
Which does not match my parenting style. Like with my son doing his castle project, I had everything outlined and I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to go. And then I remember talking to his friends' parents. I'm like, I had to step back because I'm like, this is not my project. This is like your project. You need to figure it out. I'm here to guide you, but that'd probably be the hardest.
Oh. What's your game plan for zombie apocalypse?
Guns, lots of guns. Guns and like an underground bunker or something like that.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's my plan.
Very simple. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, what albums or artists should we listen to before we die?
I have been overly obsessed with Morgan Wade. Her new album I've listened to beginning to end and then back again from the beginning. I'm also obsessed with Ashlyn Kraft. I think she really truly is this generation's Miranda Lambert. No one's going to take that crown away from Miranda, but I just think she is just a force to be reckoned with. Honestly, those are probably the two that I definitely think need to be listened to. I know everyone's listening to everything that Morgan Wallen's putting out because who isn't? But I definitely think those two are such on the brink of exploding. And I don't know. I tend to, when it comes to like albums being released, I tend to like obviously listen to the ones that have the stars next to it that everybody's listening and it's probably like their single that gets, put to the radio. But just to in the last couple of years, I started paying attention to like who the songwriters are. And then I've heard like Blake Shelton's like latest country, Die a Country Boy or Come Back a Country Boy. And it was like written by Hardy. And like, I didn't even have to look to see it was written by Hardy just because of the way that the style came up. So I don't know. I guess really it's the songwriters who are writing the big hits because those people are the ones that are turning around and becoming the singers. It's pretty awesome.
It's so great to see that too, the venture. Because when people mention, for me, it's my biggest one was always Lori McKenna.
Yeah,
I'm going back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember her coming out during Lilith Fair. I couldn't go to see her, and I just remember being so upset, and that's when I really discovered her. And I was like, oh, that was that one person that I wanted to see, and just everything she's done since then. You can just tell
she's amazing.
There's songs that someone else does, and you're like, that sounds like, and you look it up, and you're like, yep.
Yeah. It's honestly really inspiring.
Yes. Those are great people to listen to as well. If you haven't listened to those, everyone, we encourage you to go listen to them after the interview.
Yes.
As well as if you haven't heard Cowgirl, you need to go hear that too after the interview.
Yeah, you do.
So, but there will be a link in the descriptions, just so you all know. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Ooh, I think the correct like thing that I would say is who. I think I'd be more interested in who would be directing it. I sometimes think, and I get told all the time that like I should have had, I should write a book for everything that's happened in my life, because sometimes it's just like, really, is this really happening? Is this really my life? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know who would be my leading actress. I would hope someone like, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, like Kaylee Cuoco, the girl from like The Big Bang Theory. I think she would be great. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Cool.
That's a hard one.
It can be, yes.
Yeah. I would want like, what was it? No, I don't even know. I don't even know like the director's names offhand, but I don't even know.
Oh, no Steven Spielberg for the epicness?
No, I would like, isn't it like I know James Patterson's like a author, but I think he's directed films too. I would almost think he would be so good because he's so good at his words. And I just like for him to write the script, I guess maybe is where I would go with that, but I'd be open to it.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. Let us know when it airs. Oh, so where's Waldo?
Waldo was actually my 6'9" boyfriend for Halloween this past year. That's who Waldo is. Waldo's in Wisconsin.
Oh, Waldo, that's great. Oh,
yeah,
that is awesome. That's probably the best
his go-to. Yeah, he's like it was the go-to costume, and I'm like, really? That's all we could come up with was Waldo? I'll take it, but okay. Next year we're gonna try to do be the Addams Family. That's what we're hoping for, Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, my daughter's obsessed with Wednesday.
I love it. That's great. Yeah. Make sure you send us a picture that we can share it around too.
Of course.
Oh, would you rather cook or order in?
Cook. I love to cook. The kids always, like for Thanksgiving this past year, I had each of them pick a pie. They were responsible for helping me make the pie. And I made everything from scratch. Obviously I didn't kill a turkey or whatever, but we made everything from scratch, and they had so much more of an appreciation for this giant, meal that I made, that they still didn't eat everything on their plate, but they told me it was like one of the best meals they ever had. So hands down, definitely cook.
Oh, wonderful. That is so awesome. I like when you get the kids involved for sure.
Yeah.
Boots or heels?
That's a hard one. I would say boots, but I'm also, I would also say heels. I'm not into wearing flats, so
either would be okay. Got
it. Yeah.
Oh, do you sing in the shower?
I do. I definitely do. I actually recorded my daughter. She was singing my second single, Boys and Whiskey. She was singing in the shower. It was the cutest thing in the entire world, because I was trying to like make out what she was saying. And then I was like, and then she started singing, and then she stopped. And then I like opened the bathroom door, obviously discreetly, like I wasn't looking at her or whatever. But so I started singing the next verse, and she's like, stop singing. It's my turn to sing. And she starts yelling back at me. And I'm like, really? It works.
I was trying to sing with you. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. What's the best thing since sliced bread?
I would say becoming a mom. I don't know if that's like too general of a statement, but I would think the greatest thing next to greatest thing next to sliced bread is being a mom. I see things differently through their eyes. So definitely be a mom.
Definitely awesome. They give you new perspective. Even when they're not yours and you borrow them for a little bit, and they just give you new perspective.
Totally.
Do you have guilty pleasure music? If so, what is it?
I tend to get fixated on a single, or like a whole album. Like I won't stop listening to it until I'm like, extremely tired of it. But that's kind of how it is. Like I get obsessed with these little singles. Like there's a song called Fall in Love by Bailey Zimmerman. He's like I don't know, mid-20s kid, but I'm just obsessed with his voice, obsessed with the words, and I fixate on it. That's probably definitely my go-to guilty pleasure.
Wonderful. What's the worst pizza topping?
Mushrooms.
That's a good one. At least it's not pineapple.
Yeah.
The debate of the year is pineapple. I'm telling you, that's been the biggest hot topic. So yes or no, it's either one or the other. It's a hot topic.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It's one I wouldn't have thought of until obviously asking the question. So if you could be any person or position, like a CEO or an accountant or something like that, who or what position would you want to be for one day and why?
I don't even know. I think I would choose like the president or something. I don't know if you're going to air this or not. I wouldn't be Joe Biden for a day. But I would definitely try to be just the role of a president. I would honestly love to do that for a day.
That sounds very stressful to me.
It does, but I just feel just to have a better, I'm going to leave it at that. just that, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It would be cool. It'd be nice to have a female there in general, just saying.
Totally.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
Depends. That probably answers your question. No.
No. All good.
Yeah.
At what age?
What was that?
At what age do you feel that you became an adult?
Oh, this is an easy one for me. I feel that I became an adult at the age of 16. To back that up, I got in a massive car accident when I was 16. I was a passenger, and I was on, a drug-induced coma. I didn't walk. I probably went through about 13 surgeries in about 9 days. I broke almost everything on the right side of my body. And then I didn't walk. That happened in June. I didn't walk until October. Punctured my right lung. I had to regain my voice is still not 100% since then. I just had a completely different outlook on life. I, was trying to figure out at 16 if I ever was going to be able to bear the weight of a child because my pelvis was broken and there was metal implanted. So I feel like life really hit me fast at a young age, and it made me grow up. I knew where I wanted to go to college. I knew kind of the idea of what I wanted to do with my life, whereas a lot of my other friends were still being able to be teenagers, So I had to choose a lot of different roads than they probably obviously did not have. So
totally understand that. I had a lot of health problems as a teenager, so that's
it's difficult.
It is. It changes your perspective. It does.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm so glad you're doing music.
Thank you. I am too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any words of wisdom that you like to live by?
Honestly, I would say just to live every day to your fullest. And I know that sounds completely crazy. Coming off of the last question, tomorrow's not promised. Really tell people you love them, because obviously their life might not be promised. So those are definitely words I think of on a daily basis. Every time my kids get out of the car to go to school, my son and I have this thing on. Because I said it was a Monday, and I was like, okay, sweet dreams. And he goes and gets out of the car. He's like, sweet dreams. And he looked at me. So it's so funny because now we say it every single day when he's getting out of the car, not even realizing it, but just to think that, anything could happen while they're at school. I could get in a car accident, I could have a heart attack, vice versa. Something could happen to them. You just never know. And becoming a mom, you think about that all the time. That's always a worry of mine.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't not worry then at that point. I mean,
right.
You're worried. Even though you don't show it, you're still worried.
Yeah. Always.
Deep down somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's a really cool thing. That sweet dreams. I like that. That's I do like that. I will say.
He looked at me so confused. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "What did I just say?" He goes, "Sweet dreams." And I'm like, "Oh, blame the coffee. It hasn't hit me yet," or something. I like drove away laughing for about 10 minutes. I still can't to this day believe that I said that. It's funny.
Oh, that's great. So tell us, what does the rest of the year look like for you? Are you going to be doing some more writing? Obviously, we know you have a lot going on, but are you going to do some more writing, maybe release some new music in the future, some shows?
So I have been on this like dry hiatus of not writing. Up until recently, I actually wrote 4 songs in like one day. After hearing this quote from Ed Sheeran about how he goes from like not to force songwriting, and for the longest time I would force it, like I have to write about something today, about how it just comes to you naturally, then let it let it happen, so I've honestly been writing a lot these last couple of weeks, and I have 2 songs that are going through the pipeline right now that I wrote about 2 years ago with my friend Austin, and I gave them to like my producer the last time I was in Nashville, and I'm like, let's work on this. And we went through it, and he's like, this is your sound. This is the money right here. Cowgirl's good. The other ones are good, but like these are where like people are going to drive around listening to them. They're vibes, total vibes. And I'm like so overexcited to get them out. By summer, I'm planning to get one of them out. And then the end of summer, we're looking to get the other one out. And then we'll record more and hopefully get an EP or something out by the end of the year is my plan. I am trying to book shows. It's just difficult with scheduling and all that right now because there's a lot of, and especially up here in Illinois, there's a lot of still people that are hesitant about having live music and capacities and all that, just because they're fearful if they book all these bands or artists that the restrictions are going to come back down hard on us again. So we're looking to book a few in the summer, and I know that I will have like a bunch of back in my hometown in Fox Lake, so it'll be good. It's just we're in the process of trying to figure out what's going to be what. So
definitely, and I think that you just pinpointed the fact that yes, some areas with COVID and stuff, it just depends. It's really a give or take, and I think it just depends on the restrictions and whatnot, and I think if we all get our shots and whatnot, I think we're good to at least hopefully that prevents people from dying. That's the goal of the shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And not saying that was the cure all for everyone, but
still,
yeah,
totally.
So yeah, well, it's been a pleasure having you on today, and you were welcome back anytime.
Thank you. It's been great. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. You're welcome anytime. And thank you all for joining us for another episode of Crazy Women Country. We hope you have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.